There is no very consistent definitions in defining SME, but normally we look at the number of employees in the firm, and generally it is fewer than 250 employees. And looking at the contributions on the economies, SME has contributed approximately about 90% of the business are actually SME, and they have generated over 50% of the job globally. And if you look at the contributions to world GDP, they are also very high contributions, in which they have contributed approximately 50% in the developed countries and about 35% in the developing countries. Not only that, if we look at the contributions in terms of 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, SME also having a very close connections with the SDG, specifically having on SDG 8 in promoting sustained, inclusive, and sustainable economic growth, full and productive employment, and decent work for all. And not only that, they're also having a close connections on SDG 9 that is seeing how it can build resilience infrastructure, promote inclusive and sustainable industrialization, and foster innovation. And lastly, we see that it ensures sustainable consumptions and productions. So we see that the SMEs are not only having very high contributions in terms of the economic developments and employment opportunities, but they also play a role in the market competitiveness and the innovations. But despite that, we have seen there are numbers of challenges that confronting SME. First, we see most of the time SME face scarce resources and dynamic capability, mainly because of the company size, and also because the lack of key elements of connectivity and adaptability to the market forces. And again, due to the resources constraint, they normally provide poorer working conditions and lower productivity. If we are looking at the comparison between SME versus the larger companies, SME may underperform in productivity and employment quality compared to the larger companies. And there are several factors that contribute to the gap. And among those, most of the time we see larger companies, since they have more resources, they are able to pay higher salaries. They are able to provide better working conditions. They are able to invest more in trainings and equipments. And because of this, it is very important to achieve competitive advantage. And since then, the concept of sustainable competitive advantage has been increasingly recognized. And nowadays, we see that most of the companies that would like to develop such a strategies that can promote success and resilience of SMEs. And they are constantly exploring new business methods, for example, green human resource management and green innovation. So allow me to explain a little on what is competitive advantage. I believe most of the time we have heard about competitive advantage is important for the companies in order for them to sustain. And that is their ability to generate higher economic value than competitors. That is their abilities to differentiate themselves compared to their competitors. There are generally two types of competitive advantage. One is called temporary, which is usually very short-lived due to competitions. The other one is sustainable, that is difficult for competitors to overcome. A lot of time, the companies may have come up with strategies that allow them to gain competitive advantage. And when they achieve the competitive advantage, they brought in profit. But in view of the profit that they brought in, at the same time, they also attract significant competition. So when there is intense competitions, and if let's say the firm is not able to innovate, not able to create added values, sooner or later they'll be phasing out from the industry or from the business. That's why a lot of time competitive advantage could be quite temporary and in a very short durations because of the competitions. That's why today I would like to suggest how to allow the firm to achieve sustainable competitive advantage that is difficult for competitors to overcome. We see one very significant examples from Starbucks. Starbucks is a very success cases to show that they are having sustainable competitive advantage. They have high quality specialty coffee. Their environment is very comfortable, very welcoming, right? You can sit in a store for a few hours, right? Very relaxing with a cup of coffee, right? And it is also easily accessed to the store. So with all these criteria and uniqueness, it is very difficult for the competitors to weaken or to overcome. But the truth is, not many businesses are as successful as Starbucks. Not many businesses can achieve this kind of sustainable competitive advantage. That's why there is a need for different product strategies, core competency, and innovations to maintain their success. So first, I would like to propose the SMEs to adopt green human resource management. I have been embarked on the journey of researching green human resource management back to 2014 when I started my PhD. Back to that time, the concept of green human resource management is still pretty new. Not many firms has adopted this kind of practices. So when I went to the interview with the HR managers, a lot of time they will ask, is it about reducing paper, online portal, or stuff like that? But actually, it is more than all these paperless practices, right? So we see that green human resource management can be defined as the systematic plan alignment of typical HR practices with the organization environmental goals. So meaning that all the generic human resource practices, starting from job analysis, recruitment and selection, training developments, performance appraisal, etc., will be aligned with the environment goals of the firm. And we cannot deny that the employees is the core elements of the firm. You need your employees to run the daily operations, right? So human capital will be the mainstream of the organizations. And it is very important for the firm to empower the people to cope with all the environmental challenges. No matter you are in manufacturing industry, services industry, and many other industries, we are all facing the same issues in terms of environmental challenges. So with that, the employees are playing a very important role in gaining the competitive advantage. So looking at here, of course, I use some theory to support my proposal. In terms of green human resource management, I look from the lens of ability, motivations, opportunity theory, which looking at three key components. First, we can develop the employees' green ability by having green recruitments and selections, right? When we do hiring, we can recruit or we can select the candidates who come with environmental knowledge or skills, right? So that they can give you some ideas on how to save costs, how to reduce energy consumptions and whatnot. We can also provide green trainings and developments to enhance their ability. Second, we can motivate green employees' engagement through green performance appraisals and green rewards, right? In terms of that, the companies can actually set some KPIs that is related to the environmental objective of the firm. And of course, you're going to compensate your employees based on their engagements. That's also serve as the enforcement mechanism to encourage them participate in those environmental friendly practices. And thirdly, we provide green opportunities for employees. For example, we allow them to involve in certain environmental activities, whether it is in-house or in external event. Then we also empower them, allow them to share their ideas or give opinions on the activities or practices should be employed by the firm. And not only that, we should also provide a very supportive culture, because we know a lot of time the employees' behaviors is affected by the culture, by their colleagues. And with all these implementations of practices, we can expect that the employees will be providing continuous innovation in products, services, and processes. And that will effectively lead to sustainable competitive advantage of the SME. And these are some of the potential benefits of implementing green human resource management. We can see that it will help to reduce carbon footprints and make business more sustainable, because your employees right now are having different kind of environmental knowledge that how to reduce perhaps the material consumptions, the energy consumptions, and makes your business more sustainable. It may also ensure sustainable consumptions of organizational resources. We know that currently we are facing very limited resources. That's why with all these green human resource practices, we can ensure this achieved. We can also reduce operating costs that may lead to government's incentive or tax reductions, because a lot of time you see that the governments across the country are actually encouraging the companies to be greener and more sustainable. And lastly, of course, this will definitely improve the company's reputations because you are the green employer. So as I highlighted earlier, SMEs, they always face the resource constraint issues. So if you feel that it is difficult to implement all the HR practices in a very green manner, you can only manage to maybe employ a few. I propose to have these 4 different HR practices to be greened. First, you can have green recruitment and selection, then provide green training and development. And after that, green performance management and compensations. And lastly, with green involvement, right? When you have more resources, then you can consider to add on more green human resource practices. And with that, you should be able to lead to better financial, environmental, operational, and social performance. The next strategies that I propose for the SMEs to adopt is green innovation. With the environmental challenges that we are facing right now, we need to be more innovative to mitigate or to reduce the environmental issues that surrounding us, right? So green innovations means that you can develop or improve your products, services, system, technology, and management practices to address all these environmental issues. You can focus on prevent pollutions, recycling your waste, utilize greener raw materials, so on and so forth. And these are some of the drivers of the firms to adopt green innovations. Internally, we see that some firms, they have green innovations is because of their availability of resources, right? They could have some system in place, they could have some technology in place that allow them to innovate further, right? Otherwise, it could be due to organizational cultures. Their leadership could be one that is very environmental conscious, right? So that's why they would have green innovations as their key component. Apart from it, it could be due to external conditions. Perhaps it is the requirements of the market. You have seen your customers, your consumers are asking about green products. That's why you need to be more green innovative, right? Or it could be due to legal requirements. We have seen that nowadays there are more standards required the firms to be environmental friendly, such as we have ISO 14000, we have some sustainability reporting, right, that requires the organizations to be more environmental friendly or to tackle the issues of sustainability. But we can see that all these efforts would require the firm to have continuous investments and perseverance in order to deliver the commercial benefit to the firm. So with that, I also use another theory to propose the connection between green innovations and sustainable competitive advantage by having resource-based theory. In management research, I believe resource-based theory is one of the most commonly used theory. So with here, we are looking at the resources and capability as the key determinants of competitiveness. And hopefully, the green innovation can play a role in meeting the resource-based theory criteria in terms of valuable, rare, inimitables, and non-substitutable. And we have also expect to see some benefit of green innovations. First, by having green innovations, we can expect to minimize waste generations, increase production efficiency, creating better quality products at lowest cost, then creates environmental friendly products that increase your competitiveness and economic benefit, because we have seen their heightened awareness and also interest in the environmental friendly products by the markets, by the consumers. People nowadays are very cautious about eating healthy, right? Using organic food, eating, all the fresh vegetables without pesticides. So these are some of the things that helps you to gain the economic benefit. It also allows you to explore new business opportunities, right? And the good thing of this is green innovations can be applied to both the manufacturing and service industries, such as hospitality. I've been interviewing a few hotels recently, and to my surprise, many of them that actually have adopted green innovations. They use a lot of different type of waste management tools, right? And also reusing and recycling their materials. So we have seen that green innovation is another strategies that can be used to achieve sustainable competitive advantage. So in terms of SME context, we can see that the SME can go through two pathways. One is through green products innovations, where the firms can focus on raw material selection, material use, decompositions, recycling, and reusing. The other one is go through process innovations that focusing on reducing consumptions and emissions. And a lot of time, these two are actually interrelated, where today, if your consumers are asking about green products, and I believe you may need to do a little bit of adjustment in your process in order to deliver the green products. And we can also expect to see some advantages of using green innovation in terms of cost advantage through the resource productivity, or you can see differentiations, right? You can differentiate yourself from your competitors because with the green products or green process, you are able to improve product design and quality. So with that, I would like to conclude my presentations by highlighting certain key takeaways. We have seen that SMEs are the backbones of the global economies. But the truth is, at the same time, they are facing challenges like the very intense competitions, especially comparing to large enterprise, rapid changing market demands, and also capacity constraint. So today I'm proposing the SME can adopt strategies such as green human resource management and green innovations to safeguard their sustainable competitive advantage. And we can see that with the ability, motivations, and opportunities theory and resource-based theory, we can use green human resource management to build green employees' capability and engagement. At the same time, green innovations to serve as the valuable assets that drive differentiations and efficiency. With that, thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And we have seen that was another incredible presentation in this platform. And I would like to request each and everyone to give the big hand for Dr. Yong Jing Lee from the Taylor University, Malaysia. Please give the big hand. That was incredible and outstanding presentation. And the topic selected, that is, I think that the timely and the need of the society. And explaining, I think that that is a complete package in the management. Those who are doing their research work in the management, explaining the different part, that was wonderful. I would like to take the opportunity to unmute Dr. Sukhbinder Singh here to add your comment. And the session is now open for discussion. We have received that number of messages. We would like to also open the message so that you can have the open message to everyone. The message is open and discussion session we are starting with Dr. Sukhbinder Singh, register in display.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir, for meeting me. I would like to congratulate Dr. Yong Jing Lee for what a wonderful and excellent presentation. And I would like to wholeheartedly thank you for this topic because our theme for ICORM is actually not only the sustainability, but the health and the environment. We are very much focused our theme on that. And that's why I would like to congratulate you for this excellent keynote session. One thing I would like to reiterate that you have highlighted also not only the challenges, but also you have given certain solutions in terms of the human resource, as we are also teaching this in our program, in our IEEE programs, in our entrepreneurship programs, that how a corporate or an organization should be sustainable, efficient, and also in terms of adopting new technology. They should be vibrant, they should be openness, and it should be in accordance to the sustainability goals as well.
I think Dr. Singh is facing some internet issue, and that was wonderful discussion going on here in this platform. I would like to unmute our Professor Dr. Rajesh Kandur sir also to add one comment here. I would like to unmute our Dr. Rajesh Kandur. I would like to mute actually Dr. Kandur sir, and he is actually a device is not getting the audio. I think now this is time to have the message from the speaker. So without spending time, we want to go forward. And here I would like to request Dr. Yong Jing to share one message to all the young researchers and academicians in this platform so that they can have this kind of research, they can enter into this field. Over to you.
Thank you again. It's really a wonderful platform for me to share the research. Of course, this is only a conceptual from my own perspective because I have an interest on green human resource management and also green innovations, and I study a lot on the relationship with sustainability, and I think this is an issue that everyone should be taking care of. Right. And hopefully there are some opportunities that I can really embark on this research and make it an empirical study. Thank you so much for the platform and also the invitation. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Yong Jing, and for your presentation. And that was a truly incredible presentation, wonderfully presented, each and every slide explained. And I think that really it will give our young researchers, those who are doing this CRM level research, then they can enter, they can learn, they can go through the presentation again and again. So big congratulations to you for your such a wonderful presentation and best wishes from our side. Again, big hand to Dr. Yong Jing here in this platform for such a wonderful, incredible presentation in this third international conference, ICORM 3.0 2024. Thank you very much, ma'am.